Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Thanks for coming by the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama, where we talk about music, records, do record reviews, interviews, and much more. Today I'm going to be doing a needle drop on the latest album from Monty Alexander, one of the greatest jazz piano players ever. His new record, which came out March, I believe, of this year on the PeeWee label. I'm going to be doing a needle drop on that. Before I get into that, though, I want to make sure that you did not miss the interview here yesterday with Bria Skomberg. A wonderful album here that she just talks about on the Cellar label. She plays trumpet, sings. This is a very cool record. New Orleans vibe. A lot of great music here. So if you missed that interview, I do encourage you to go back and watch that. She was a pleasure to talk with. I really enjoyed our conversation. So if you want to learn a little bit about this fantastic record, go check out that interview. Let's get on to today's record review. Monty Alexander, born 6th of June, 1944. Perfect, a very significant date, June 6th. If you know anything about history, that was D-Day, June 6th. Monty Alexander, I think, still a very much underappreciated jazz pianist, especially when it comes to the vinyl community. You don't see a whole lot said about him, and a lot of his records are still fairly easy to find, and they're usually fairly inexpensive compared to some of the other players like Bill Evans, for example. But Monty Alexander was influenced by Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Errol Garner, Nat King Cole, Oscar Peterson, Ahmad Jamal, Les McCann, and even Frank Sinatra. He discovered the piano when he was only 4 years old and had a talent for picking out melodies by ear. And his mother sent him to classical music lessons at the age of 6. When Monty was 9 years old, his father, a Kingston merchant, brought him to hear the legendary pianist Eddie Haywood. Growing up in Kingston, he absorbed all the musical flavors of that area and really developed kind of a Caribbean sound. By 14, Monty was playing in local clubs, and he says he soaked up everything: the Calypso band playing at the swimming pool, local guys at jam sessions who wished they were Dizzy Gillespie and Miles Davis. He soaked up dance bands playing Jamaican melodies and Harry Belafonte, for example. So I want to talk a little bit about more about Monty, but we're going to go ahead and open this record up and do a needle drop on it. Have a listen. This is fantastic. I've been listening to it on streaming. It's a wonderful record, fantastic piano playing, and really cool tunes. So go ahead and open this up, and we'll talk a little bit about this album. And where is my little razor blade here? But Monty and his family moved to Miami, Florida in 1961, where he began playing in various nightclubs there. One night, Monty was brought to the attention of Frank Sinatra and Frank's friend named Jilly Rizzo, who actually owned a jazz club. They were there to see the act in the next room, a Sinatra imitator. Somebody suggested they also go check out the kid playing the piano in the front room bar. They said he was swinging very, very well, and Monty was invited to New York City in 1962 to become the house pianist for Jilly Rizzo's nightclub and restaurant simply called Jilly's. So that's how he got his start. In addition to performing with Frank Sinatra there, Alexander also met and became friends with bassist Ray Brown and vibe player Milt Jackson. He also became friendly with Miles Davis, and both shared their love of watching boxing matches. And at Jilly's for 4 years or so, Monty's trio had a rotating stellar cast of bassists and drummers, including Ron Carter, Roy Haynes, Tony Williams, Al Harewood, Bob Cranshaw, Mickey Rocker, Sonny Payne, and Tommy Williams. And they would play into the wee hours of the morning for Sinatra and a mix of celebrity entertainers such as Miles, Count Basie, Milt Jackson. 1964 in Los Angeles, Monty did record his first album for Pacific Jazz. He was only 20 years old when he made his first record. So there's a little bit of background about Monty, if you didn't know. I love all the trivia and try to do a little research on the artists that I'm presenting to you. All right, let's open this up. He also played at Minton's, where he became friends with Quincy Jones. Okay, here's your inner sleeve. Looks like there's a write-up there that explains this record. The very date when the Allies landed, of course, June 6, 1944. So this record is kind of in celebration of that event. All right, let's take the record out and have a look at it. I appreciate you guys hanging out and joining me for these record reviews and listening to this new music and giving a lot of this new music a chance. I know a lot of people who are jazz lovers of jazz and collect jazz records. They like all the classic Blue Note stuff and all the reissues and all that, which I also really dig. But more importantly, I these days am wanting to support working artists, so I'm buying a lot of new recordings. So in this one, I'm really thankful that Monty is still making records at the age of 80 and still keeping the jazz tradition alive. And he's one of the ones that really have been one of the big influences on jazz as we know it. So if you aren't familiar with him, I do recommend a couple of records by him that you can pick up as reissues. One of them is the Live at Bubba's, which was on the Resonance label. And these were, I think you can still find these. This is a fantastic sounding record here. I do recommend this, 1982 live recording, smoking album. And then this record here, audiophile MPS Montreux Live, is a fantastic record as well. So I do recommend this album. And that one is actually a reissue. Both of those are, of course, one's an archival release from Bubba's, and then that one is a reissue. All right, so I'm cleaning this off with some distilled water here, and we're going to drop the record on. Sorry it's taking so long to get to the music. All right, putting on side A. One thing to know about this album is that it has been condensed down for the vinyl edition, where the CD edition has a couple of more tunes on it. So you want to be aware of that. But the playing on this is fantastic. Let's see what kind of a recording we got here. This one's called I'll Never Smile Again. There's your song tracks. It's on the vinyl. He's got over 78 albums as a leader. And I'm going to be doing a live needle drop on this one coming up soon. Pretty nice sounding recording. It's got a nice top end on it. You really hear those cymbals on the drums. Piano sounds nice. You got some depth to it. I'd say it's about middle of the road for warm. You know, it's not the warmest record I've heard, and it's not shrill or harsh sounding either. Bass sounds nice. And the playing on this album is wonderful. It's a flat pressing. I hear just a little bit of surface noise here and there. Drums sound nice, you know, when you can hear them resonate. See if we can get a little bit further into the record. Now, so you guys should know that Monty's played with everybody over, you know, since 1964 when he recorded this first record. He's played with everybody from, you know, as I said, Milt Jackson, Ray Brown, Tony Bennett, Quincy Jones, Diz, Jimmy Smith, Natalie Cole, Clark Terry, Benny Golson, Ernestine Anderson. The list goes on and on and on. He's made some of the most iconic albums, including the one I showed you, the Montreux, on the MPS label, 1976. He also played on that 1991 album with Natalie Cole as well, The Unforgettable, which is a fantastic record. Played on that. You know, he also has that Caribbean flavor to his playing, and largely a self-taught, a player who largely plays by ear, like likes to, you know, really embrace the music, and is not really a big, from what I've heard on his interviews, doesn't really like to read sheet music, and likes to focus on, you know, listening and playing. So he's largely play by ear kind of guy. Yeah, a little surface noise on this pressing. This one's called Aggression. Yeah, this is an awesome album. Listen to the playing on this. A lot of intense playing on this record. As far as the jacket goes, very plain, very simple. As things pick up, you can hear a little bit more, you know, resonance coming out of the instruments, the drums. It's a decent sounding recording. So June 6th marks the 80th anniversary, June 6th of 2024, of the Normandy landings. It's also Monty's birthday when he turned 80 as well. This album commemorates the events. 11 tracks. Again, if you get the CD, you only get 7 tracks on the vinyl. He says it's an album that commemorates history, celebrates a milestone, and promotes a message of peace. Bassist Luke Sellick and drummer Jason Brown are on the album. This was recorded in Paris at Studio Sextan for the French label called PeeWee. Raphael Jonin. Recorded Studio Sextan, 19th and 20th of October of 2023. So it's got a little bit of that information. It's got French and English text here. Yeah, so pretty cool record. Pretty much straight ahead jazz with that little bit of Caribbean flair to it. Yeah. Yeah, drums sound nice. Got both original tracks on here and tracks that were basically wartime songs that came out during the war. So the first song was I'll Never Smile Again, which I think was done by Sinatra. Written by Charlie Chaplin. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and flip it over and play a song off the other side. There's half the first side there. So again, I appreciate you guys joining me and listening to this great music. Leave your comments, leave your thumbs up, and then share the videos with other people. A lot of great jazz music being made right now, and definitely should not be overlooked. All right, this one's called Restoration Renewal. So pretty nice sounding record. I mean, as it picks up and you really hear the resonance off the drums, the piano, it's a decent sounding recording. It's got some depth, it has some warmth. It's not the quietest pressing I've ever heard. It is flat. Let me know also, leave your comments, let me know if you guys are interested in me doing CD reviews, which I can play through the same system in this room. And what I try to do when I do these reviews, I'm always playing it through the same equipment. I'm playing it through a Fluence RT85 with the Ortofon Blue. I'm going through a shit Monty preamp into Yamaha HS8 speakers. But what I can do is I can also put a CD player into the system, and therefore I could do CD reviews that will go and play out of the CD player into these Yamaha HS8 speakers, and then I can let you know how those sound. So let me know if it's something you guys are interested in. A lot of people don't do CD reviews, but there's a lot of albums such as this Monty Alexander album with Ray Brown and Russell Malone that's only available on CD and not available on vinyl. And it's a lot of great music that's available that way. So let me know if it's something you guys are interested in. Leave your comments. Let me know if you want me to start doing CD reviews as well. I don't buy a ton of them, but I do buy some. Especially if I really like the album and it's not available on vinyl, I'll buy the CD still, because I like to have a physical copy of music. I'm still that kind of a, you know, just... So, this is a fantastic album here. I recommend going checking it out on streaming, see if you like it. And again, this is not something that I think you have to have on vinyl. It sounds good, but if you want all the music, and there's like 4 songs that are not on this vinyl record that are available on CD. So if you want that, I wouldn't hesitate picking up the CD for sure. A lot of great playing on here though. So there you have it, Monty Alexander's new record, D-Day. Still making great music in his 80s. Still smoking on the piano. All right, folks, thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon on another video. Happy listening to all you. Take care.